Yes guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson Football Channel for the second attempt of recording this video because, as I always tell you, it's bloody hot here and the receiver of the microphone turned itself off. But it is a topic that I could talk about all day because it's a bit of a debatable one. I put out to Twitter saying if Chelsea do not manage to sign a number 9 this summer and we begin next season with TIMO WERNER, Tammy Abraham and Armando Broja as the recognised strikers in our squad, do you believe that Chelsea can still challenge, not win, challenge for the Premier League title next season? The response to this was very interesting indeed, and it was interesting because it wasn't really a conclusive answer, which again told me that it was a good enough reason to make a video on it so that we can debate both sides of the coin. The response to this poll was 55% of 15,000 people said that Chelsea will challenge, whereas 45% said that if Chelsea don't sign a number 9 this summer, then therefore we will not challenge for the Premier League title next season. As for the Premier League title next season, over on GBFC 2, before the season begins, I'll be doing my Premier League predictions that I normally do here on GBFC, so make sure you're subscribed to GBFC 2, link is down below. I think there's going to be 4 teams next season that, off the top of my head, when we think about potential signings that clubs are trying to make, when we think about existing squads and quality and depth that existing squads have, for me there's 4 teams. And those 4 teams are Manchester City, obviously, whether they get Harry Kane or Jack Grealish or whoever they're going for, they're still going to be solid. Manchester United, I think they're going to be very dangerous next season. They've already signed Jadon Sancho. Raphael Varane, it's probably moments away, unless Chelsea go in and hijack the bid last minute, and then we might have something interesting to talk about even here. Varane and Maguire, as a centre-back pairing, that's a title-winning centre-back pairing. I'm not going to lie to you. You've then got Liverpool, who've got Virgil van Dijk to return just after the beginning of the season, which people underestimate just how big of an influence this man has on this Liverpool team. So with him back in the side, I fully expect Liverpool to be challenging again. And then I believe it will be Chelsea because of the Champions League win, the impact that Thomas Tuchel had when he took over at our club. Champions League winners, you know, I keep saying it over and over again, but I honestly believe for such a young squad, it's a massive springboard for future success, whether a number 9 comes in or whether it doesn't. So, as for this poll, I think it says a lot about the mindset of Chelsea fans right now. I think myself included, we've put so much pressure on this potential Erling Haaland signing that even when we're doing videos talking about potentially a Lewandowski or maybe a Romelu Lukaku, I think myself in particular, I don't want to speak for every Chelsea fan, but myself, I've actually put so much pressure on Chelsea signing Erling Haaland that even if we do get another top number 9 striker, I'll be like, but, you know, Haaland's only 20. It could have been Haaland for 10 years at Chelsea. It would have been so good with Kai Havertz and Mason Mount just behind him. I've just created a narrative in my head that I just absolutely adore. But I do believe if Chelsea were to sign Erling Haaland, then I believe we'd win the league. I would predict and I would state it to the world that Chelsea will win the Premier League in the 21-22 season. The biggest issue is TIMO WERNER in his first season in the Premier League. I talked about it in the tier list video that we did. If you haven't seen the tier list video from last season, you should go and check it out. 27 goal contributions in his debut season. Chelsea in the Premier League, Jorginho is our top scorer with 7 goals. Now, whether TIMO WERNER scores 27, contributes 27 goals and assists total, the fact that Chelsea's top scorer is our penalty taker who doesn't even play every single game is incredibly worrying in terms of actually challenging for the Premier League title. In terms of finishing in the top 4 and even playing Champions League football this season, we stumbled over the line in the Premier League. We even lost to Aston Villa on the last bloody day. And then obviously we won the Champions League, which naturally segues you straight into the competition. But realistically, Chelsea were not even close to a title conversation last season. At no point in the campaign did we ever look like rallying together to put in a charge to go ahead and actually win the league. Manchester City, as wonderful as they were in the final 2/3 of the season, even in the first third of the season, everything was there for the taking, And it was a league last year where if Chelsea weren't so erratic in the opening part of the season, then maybe we could have finished the problem and actually challenged. But the fact of the matter is, goals in the Premier League were just not frequent enough. And especially from a striker who, when you're not playing very well or when a game is evenly poised, can make the difference and bag you a goal. So TIMO Werner, 27 goal contributions, it's good, but it's nowhere near what the Chelsea hierarchy, what I as a fan, believed that we were going to get from Timo, particularly in the Premier League. You've then got Tammy Abraham, who, for whatever reason, it just doesn't seem as though Thomas Tuchel rates him, which I've always liked Tammy Abraham. I like all the academy boys that come in, put on the Chelsea shirt, give everything, and succeed. And I would go as far as to say that since Tammy Abraham broke into the Chelsea first team, got the number 9 shirt, I wouldn't say it's been a failure. But again, I bring it back to Timo Werner. 27 goal contributions isn't a failure, but it's certainly not what Chelsea need to challenge for the title. And if Chelsea are talking about Erling Haaland and this kind of player, then don't sign him, and also maybe don't sign a Lukaku, don't sign a Lewandowski. And if Thomas Tuchel doesn't back Tammy Abraham, then I seriously think that Chelsea are going to be worrying going into this season. If Timo Werner isn't that goal scorer, and then the immediate backup striker isn't favoured by the manager, it then leaves you with an unproven striker who's not played a single game for Chelsea starting in the Premier League, Armando Broja. And as good as I think Armando Broja is going to be, and as delighted that I am that he signed a new 5-year deal to extend his contract to 2026, Chelsea cannot be relying on him to fire us to the Premier League title, or even challenge for the Premier League title for that matter. So, in order to kind of conclude my own personal opinion on the poll that I put out there, as good as I still think this Chelsea team would be, I still think there's definitely something to be said if we don't actually sign a top number 9 for Kai Havertz playing as more of like a false 9 formation and now enabling us to utilise Werner a little bit wider, or Mason Mount, Ziyech, one of these players, Pulisic going forward, Hudson-Odoi. There is still an abundance of attacking talent. I just think Chelsea's problem, it's been so clear that it's that out-and-out goal scorer who can guarantee you 20 goals a season. If we get that, I think we win the bloody league. If we don't get that, then I think United are going to close the gap to City even more. And I realistically don't think we're going to challenge. That is my conclusive point that I want to make on this. As always with this kind of video, I really would love to hear what you guys have to say in the comments below. Is it going to be Haaland? Who knows at this point? It's like a flip of a coin. Lukaku, Lewandowski. There's also talk of Danny Ings. Do you think Danny Ings is a good enough striker to actually give Chelsea a chance of challenging for the Premier League title? It's a debate. It's a question that we couldn't really conclude conclusively whether it's a yes or a no via Twitter. 15,000 votes, 55% says challenge, 45% says no. That tells me that if we do sign a number 9, then everybody is seriously considering Chelsea as one of the big contenders for next season. But anyway, going to wrap up this video here. If you are not yet subscribed to GBFC, please be sure to do so. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video. And tomorrow, make yourself a flipping cup of tea, get yourself cozy, whatever you want to do. It's bloody hot in the UK, I know that. But I've got an hour-plus video dropping for you guys tomorrow. It's a tier list video with none other than Alex Goldberg from the Byline podcast. So stay tuned for that one. It's bloody hot and sunny here. I don't know why I do these videos in the sun. I could be inside in the AC, but I just like it. Skies are blue. Hopefully Haaland will be soon too. I will see you guys later. Come on, you Blues.